Hi, I'm Karlin Borisenko. In early 2020, I was the knitting Democrat who accidentally went viral on the internet for going to a Trump rally and then left the party. I became the conservative darling, was on all the shows, traveled around the country, and then realized that conservatives were no better than Democrats. If there's one thing that I've learned, it's that both political tribes are two sides of the same coin. But it wasn't all bad. On my journey, I became obsessed with understanding the woke ideology and the culture war. I broke the story of the city of Seattle doing segregated training with its employees.
How bad has this stuff become? The city of Seattle has now put out, I'm not kidding you, this is according to Dr. Karlin Borisenko, who's an organizational psychologist. The city of Seattle asked its white employees to voluntarily spend a day off in a training about their internalized racial superiority.
I broke the story that led to the first ever federal lawsuit against critical race theory in the schools. I broke the Coke Be Less White story, one of the biggest anti-woke stories of all time. It got over 30 million views. Coca-Cola's corporate headquarters even had to change their outgoing voicemail.
Throughout the past few days, you may have seen inaccurate reporting on the content of our recently launched diversity, equity, and inclusion training program.
I exposed the schools in Burlington, Vermont for grooming middle school children live on the internet. They called me an unwoke cult leader for that. And the Vermont Human Rights Commission slandered me publicly as being a hate channel. I even got called a hero in Breitbart for exposing that the Washington Post was writing a hit piece on Christopher Rufo. I have broken story after story after story about what's going on in the public schools, from Cambridge, Massachusetts, to autistic sex education, to the Department of Education in Michigan, literally training teachers all over the state how to groom children. I wrote a book called Actively Unwoke, the ultimate guide for fighting back against the woke insanity in your life. I host a podcast all about fighting back, and I'm downloading all of my knowledge to you on my Substack, karlin.substack.com. The world is a crazy place. We are literally surrounded by cults on all sides. On this show, we're going to do a deep dive into all aspects of the culture war, and I will show you the dark, dystopian underbellies on both sides. Here are the commitments I'll make to you. I will always tell you the truth. I will always bring you receipts. And if you stick with me, I promise you will see the world differently. Welcome to the cult. Please mount that like button for me and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Well, hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Well, I want to take you back on a journey to yesterday. Yesterday, live on this stream, we covered not that story. Let's see, we covered this story about the Colorado Teachers Union passing a resolution declaring capitalism inherently exploits children and public schools. Well, as I was reading this story, something funny happened, because we got down to the screenshot of the original resolution put before the Colorado Teachers Union, which was even actually worse than the resolution they actually passed. And I happened to notice something right up here, submitted by Brian Lindstrom. Now, I don't know exactly why this clicked in my head when I saw this, because I actually hadn't thought about this in probably a year and a half. But I knew the name, Brian Lindstrom. And immediately when I saw it, I said, I outed this guy on Twitter 2 years ago. And on the stream yesterday, I tried to find the tweet in which I outed this guy as a Marxist on Twitter 2 years ago. Sadly, apparently every browser and everything on my computer was trying to update at the same time, which have now been updated. The browsers have been updated. The OS has been updated. So it wasn't actually really working out that well for me to find the tweet on the stream. But guess what? I found it later. And then I started going through the rest of Brian's tweets, and oh my God. Listen, guys, I always tell you guys one of the very first things you need to do when you're concerned about what is going on in your kid's school is you need to look at the teachers on social media. You need to look at their Twitters. You need to look at their TikToks. You need to look at their Instagrams. You need to look and see the things they're following. You need to see the things that they're talking about, because I promise you, we have seen this over and over and over and over and over again. The activist teachers, and do you notice that our friend Brian here has an Educate shirt with the power fist on it? The activist teachers just can't help themselves but to say the quiet part out loud over and over and over and over again. And so I thought that we would do something fun on the stream today. Something I did a kind of, I wasn't totally crying on the internet, but I was kind of crying on the internet. I'll take you back to like last week when I was like, I'm never doing school investigations again. And you guys were like, no, Carlin, no, you cannot give up. And I was like, fuck you, no one watches them. And you were like, Carlin, your work is important. You have to keep doing it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it if no one's going to watch it. It was one of those, everyone on the internet has moments now and again, but I actually like am committed to like not doing as much of the school investigation stuff. However, today we're going to make an exception because, and I'm going to show you this in one of the tweets. Brian flat out tweeted that he says the same things to his school principal and his school superintendent that he says to all of us. And so I was like, you know what? This is like, you know what this is, guys? This is a sign from the universe. This is, I last week when I was having a really tough time, I really did pray to the universe. I prayed. I said, give me some sort of indication that this is the path I'm supposed to be on, because I can't do this anymore. I really did. I didn't do it live on the internet for once, but I had a good fucking cry one night, and I was laying in bed and I said, please give me a sign. Any sign. I need an overt sign. I need a sign smacking me upside the head that I am not wasting my time and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And you know what? Ask and ye shall receive, because I can't think of a bigger sign than a random teacher coming up that I called out as a Marxist 2 years ago that has now gotten a resolution passed in Colorado that says that denouncing capitalism. And I found this guy 2 years ago, and I found tweets of this person saying, I say the same thing to my principal and my superintendent. I thought, guys, we would jump in and we would do a good old fashioned school investigation. Let's pop into the Aurora Public Schools out in Colorado, where Brian is a high school history teacher. And this is going to be a little bit of an abbreviated investigation. I don't have a lot of time to dig into this, but I haven't done this in a while. And I want to show people, I haven't done this, well, I should say, I haven't done this publicly on YouTube in a while. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you exactly and precisely how to find out exactly what the schools are teaching. I'm going to show you where the documents are. We're going to read some of the documents together. And by the way, I have done no advanced prep work on this. I've done nothing. The only thing I did was find the school district website, and that was it. Johnny, listen. I have 2 rules in my chat, Johnny. Number 1, don't be a dick. Number 2, no whining. Now, we don't mind that you're a communist. We don't mind that you disagree with us. But if you're going to be in my chat, you're going to be polite and you're going to be cordial and you will not be disruptive. You are welcome to voice your opinions, but do it politely, bro. Just like take it down a notch. This is a no shit posting chat, okay? We're here to learn. So you're welcome to stay, but don't be a dick and no whining. And if you can't abide by those rules, we will send you on your merry way to go somewhere else. That's it. Yeah, see, you just go like, we can all be cordial. Ain't no reason to be rude. We welcome communists and socialists. We like talking to you guys about what you think, you know? And so that's what we're going to do today, guys. We are going to dig through some school documents. V Radio says, new fan, would love to stream with you sometime. V Radio, send me an email at activelyunwoke@gmail.com and we can talk about it. Now, who here has never done a school investigation stream before? And I ask that because school investigation streams are participatory. It's not just me. You guys can participate as well. Bot has probably already started searching this school website to find out what's going on. Bot, it is not your first time. This is a group project. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how I find the documents that I use when I'm exposing the schools. And that way you guys can apply it to your school districts or other school districts or what have you. And then the more information we can gather, the more stuff we can expose, the better off we're going to be. So that is what we are going to spend the bulk of the stream. Yep, Bot has already found something. Bot's already searching. Guys, you are going to be absolutely shocked and amazed at some of the information that you can find right now on your school district websites. They're doing everything out in the open. They don't even try to hide it. Occasionally, we like to do FOIA requests. Occasionally, but usually we don't really actually need to do that. So that's where we're going to spend the bulk of our time today, guys. But there is one other story I'd like to cover as well. And I was thinking about covering this last week, but apparently like Fox News has actually just officially reported on it now. And so it's a nice time to cover it. James Lindsay gave a talk at Northwestern last week, which is Northwestern is like a really elite university out of like right outside of Chicago. And apparently the president of the university sent out a message denouncing him. And now the university has frozen the funds of the college Republicans who brought him to campus in the first place. And so I thought we would read this article from Fox News and see what's going on there. And, James Lindsay's always causing trouble wherever he goes. But you know what? I love his commitment and no one does it better than he does. And he is absolutely one of the brightest minds we have in the world talking about this stuff today. He knows the philosophy of it inside and out. That man is a genius. Sometimes a little weird, sometimes a little wacky. Sometimes he really pisses people off and triggers people, but no one can deny that that man is a genius and everyone should be following him if you are interested in this stuff. I tend to focus on more practical application of what's going on in the real world. I focus only on things that are actually manifesting, actually impacting the lives of real people. But he tells you the root causes of it. He explains it. He breaks it down. Can't recommend him enough. Dedicated an entire chapter to him in my book, Actively Unwoke, the ultimate guide for fighting back against the woke insanity in your life. Because if more people were fighting back in the way that James Lindsay is fighting back, we would be in a completely different place right now. He has carried this fight on his shoulders for years and years and years, and I've got nothing but admiration. And he even blocked Benjamin on Twitter, which annoyed Benjamin. I don't think James should have blocked Benjamin. I don't understand that, but I can't control him. James Lindsay is uncontrollable, if nothing else, but he is the best. And so we're going to follow along anyway. So guys, that's what we're doing on the stream today. Welcome to The Cult. The Cult is a show that I do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. On Saturday, we go live at 6 p.m. for one hour later, just because, it's my weekend too. And on Saturdays, we do Socialism Saturday, where we watch real socialists, the farthest left of the far left, and we listen to what they have to say, and we break it down, and we learn how they see the world. And it is the most terrifying dystopian thing you will see all week. Of course, this month, we are doing extra socialism because our friends, Red May, are in full effect. Now, I consider Red May to be a friend. Red may not consider me to be a friend, but I consider Red May to be a friend because Red May is doing us the great service of producing and live streaming some socialist dystopian content all week from the socialists in Seattle. And so we're going to be doing some impromptu socialism streams as well. So keep an eye out for that. But just a Red May update, of course, they threatened me with a YouTube copyright strike for streaming one of their presentations the other day. And then I called them out and I said, Philip, you guys are not supposed to believe in private property. Why are you engaging in the bourgeois capitalist tactic of copyright? Like, it kind of seems to go against everything you say you believe. And I have a good update as of right now. I still don't have a copyright strike. Too bad, so sad. And the stream is still up on the channel and it's still all good. And so we will be we'll be looking forward to doing more Red May throughout the month. But guys, there's some other stuff going on over on the Substack that I do want to talk to you about. Of course, the Substack is my home base. Carlyn, Karlyn, unwoke.substack.com. I have a whole bunch of Substacks, but this is the main Substack that if you are not subscribed to any of my other Substacks, this is the one you want to be subscribed to. And there's a couple things going on. Of course, today we're going to be reviewing this article I wrote last night about the Colorado Teachers Union denouncing capitalism. But more importantly, I told you guys this was a Marxist 2 effing years ago. And so we're going to be reviewing that, and I'm going to show you guys all of the tweets, or at least some of the tweets that he's sent over the past couple years. But there's a couple other things I want you to see on the Substack. Number one, last night I launched the Inner Circle, which is my premium supporter only podcast. Of course, this is the cult, but the Inner Circle are people who are funding the work that I'm doing. And, I have a podcast. It's called the Actively Unwoke podcast. Actually, and it's available on Apple, like Apple, Spotify, all the places. If you want to go to activelyunwoke.com/podcast, you can find that. But there's been a challenge because I've been creating a lot more premium content lately that's just for supporters. And I still want to do podcast versions of those and do additional commentary. And I was like, well, how do I do this? Well, just launch another effing podcast. What's stopping me? I'm going to do a podcast anyway. I might as well make a premium podcast. And this podcast is going to be hosted through my Substack. And there is always a free preview of the podcast. So if you want to check it out and kind of listen to the article, that's available. But when you are a subscriber, you will get a private RSS link that will allow you to listen to the premium version of the podcast, the full version, in whatever you want to stream it on, Apple, Spotify, like whatever. And so you can set that up. That is now available on Carlyn, KARLYN.substack.com. And the very first episode is called What You Need to Know About Critical Race Theory, Systemic Racism, and Whiteness. It's a great option for those of you who prefer to listen to me and you don't necessarily want to read everything I write and interact with the copious amount of typos that's usually in stuff that I write. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a horrible copy editor. It's just the way it goes. I really do try to do my best, but it is one of my biggest weaknesses, and I know you forgive me for it. But if you prefer to listen, you will have the podcast version, and I'm going to be to make more versions of the premium articles that I've written and stuff like that. So we'll get that done. So that's really great and exciting. And today, special announcement, and I want to say a great big thank you to the supporter who offered this. Yesterday, I got an email from a supporter that said, Carlyn, I'm in a position to donate 2 memberships as gifts for people who want to be annual members to your Substack, and I really want to do this, and I want you to help me to figure out who to gift these memberships to. And I was like, that's a great idea. I really appreciate it. What a generous offer. And we brainstormed a little bit, and basically I decided that the person donating them, and I don't know if they want to be named, which is why I'm keeping it anonymous for right now, but basically we decided that we were going to do a little bit of a contest. Not really a contest, more like a raffle. But how you enter the contest is you go to that post on my Substack, and it's right front and center. You can see it like right now, like you can't really miss it. It's got sparkle and everything. And basically how you enter this is I want you to leave a comment that is giving me a testimonial of why you like my work and what it does for you, what you get out of it. And this is going to be great because first off, I want to make sure that I'm giving these memberships to people who actually appreciate them, to people who understand the value of what's going on. And, not everyone is in a position to financially support the work I'm doing, and I totally understand that. But I really want to make sure that these gifts, because it is a generous offer, are going to people who are going to use them. So I thought like a testimonial of people telling me what they get out of the work would be really, really great. But also what we're going to do is put that into like a raffle and draw 2 names out of the hat. And for everyone who submits a testimonial, you're going to get an entry. All entries are going to be the same. So the content of your testimonial, unless you're a dick, and then it won't be entered. But I know you guys would never do that. But of course, some people on the internet would do that. So they will not be entered. Only the good people who actually care about the work I'm doing are going to be entered. And then we're just going to draw 2 names out of a hat. And James Jones, this is a great question. Can I write a testimonial with the understanding that I don't need a free membership and thus shouldn't get one? Yes, you can. And if you are already an annual member of my Substack, which of course, thank you for supporting the work I'm doing, you are welcome to write a testimonial as well. If you want to be considered for a gift membership, maybe you could gift it to like a friend or family member. But if you don't want to be considered in the raffle, just note it in the testimonial. But like say like Carlin, you can use this testimonial, but like I don't need the membership or something like that. And of course, I really do appreciate it. So great question, James Jones. And that's awesome. One final reminder, guys, one of the best ways that you can support the work I'm doing is to make sure you are helping me to overcome the alleged YouTube shadow ban and subscribe to the cult.substack.com. This is a separate Substack that I have that is just dedicated to this show. And when you subscribe, you will receive an email prior to the show. It's going to look like this, and it's going to have the links to the different platforms that you can watch on. So shout out right now to everyone watching on alternative platforms like Odyssey and Rockfin and Rumble, especially to Rumble. The chat's really been picking up over on Rumble lately. I'm starting to do a better job of making sure I'm keeping the Rumble chat on my screen where I can see it. And I do appreciate everyone that watches on alternative platforms. Of course, the YouTube chat tends to be the most busy chat, and it's also the one that I can actually see in the streaming service that I use. But I do appreciate everyone on all the different platforms. And when you sign up for the cult, you'll get an email with the different links. You will also get a list of here are the topics that we are going to cover. So this is my way of trying to get around the fact that sometimes YouTube doesn't always give you guys notifications of when I'm going live. I'm sorry about that. Ain't nothing I can do about it, but I can build you an email list that you can get an email notification of here are the topics I'm going to be talking about, and here are the links to watch. And so this is my workaround. I definitely recommend everyone subscribing to it. It's totally free. I have not monetized this at all yet, though I probably will at some point, but I have not monetized it at all. And the free notifications will always be free no matter what. Bot is already busy at work and has already found a list of their recommended equity seminars. Bot, that sounds like a treasure trove. But before we get into the school investigation stream, I want to start off with this story about Northwestern student government freezing college Republicans' funding over poster critical of LGBTQ community. Well, that's not really why they did it. They did it because of James Lindsay. I think we all know that. And we're going to talk about this. But guys, please mount that like button. Everyone needs to mount the like button. Mounting the like button tells YouTube to recommend my channel more. Come on, I want to see those likes go up. I will start the show when the likes get to a sufficient level. I want to see like at least, 10 to 20 more likes. Come on, guys. We don't smash the like button on this channel. We mount the like button on this channel. And that tells YouTube to recommend my content to other people. Okay, almost there. Come on. I know you guys can do it. I know you can. Also, please make sure, double check that you are subscribed to the channel and that you have notifications turned on. That really does help me out. All right. Thank you guys for that nice little boost of likes. I do appreciate it. Vince is liked and shared on Facebook. Thank you guys. Really, the additional just liking and like sharing stuff, it really, really helps with the algorithm. And it's also going to make sure my content is actually recommended to you. So it really does make a difference. All right. Let's read this story. Student government at Northwestern University in Illinois indefinitely froze the funds of the university's chapter of the College Republicans amid backlash to posters advertising an event with a conservative speaker. Oh, so it was about James Lindsay after all, Fox News. Look at that. The university's Associated Student Government last week passed an emergency legislation. This is an emergency. James Lindsay coming to your college campus is an emergency. Sure. By a large majority that cut off the funding for the Northwestern University College Republicans, according to the Daily Northwestern. The move reportedly came in response to controversial flyers that advertised a May 2nd event that the organization hosted with conservative speaker James Lindsay. Okay, pause. James Lindsay's not a conservative. James Lindsay's not a conservative in any way. I don't know why people think James Lindsay is a liberal. I mean, or at least like he's maybe agnostic at best at this point, but I would correct me if I'm wrong. We've got a lot of James Lindsay fans in the chat. has James Lindsay ever said that he's a conservative, like, ever? And this is supposed to be a news website? Oh, I understand now. This comes from the Post Millennial. Okay, got it. Post Millennial, not known for its accurate journalism. His speech covered the perils of Marxism and transgenderism, according to the Post Millennial. One of the posters, which noted the event with Lindsay, was also presented by the school's chapter of Young Americans for Freedom, or YAF, depicted a skull and bones poison symbol superimposed over the LGBT pride flag, framed in sunglasses, according to the student newspaper. And here we have James's tweets about the event. The consequences for the Northwestern University College Republicans for a flyer they posted for a talk they invited me to give a couple days ago are they got their funding frozen indefinitely by the student government and face investigation. The leftist agitators on the rather embarrassing campus convinced the leftist student government to freeze their funding based on the use of the internationally recognized poison icon on the flyer, claiming that it represents death threats against LGBTQ. This is what they're upset about. This is what they're upset about. Guys, has anyone seen the cover of James Lindsay's book? Hang on, with Helen Pluckrose. Does anyone remember what the cover of James Lindsay's book looks like? That's what the cover of James Lindsay's book looks like. That was a clear homage to the cover of James Lindsay's book with Helen Pluckrose called Cynical Theories. We read it in my book club maybe a couple years ago. It's a great book. Apparently going for $500. Oh, 25 copies are going for $500. I was like, what the hell? I was like, I've got a copy sitting in a pile of books over there. I'll sell it for $500. And it's a beefy book. It really is. It's a weighty book to get through. But that's the cover of it. And that's clearly what they're paying the homage to when they have the sunglasses with the LGBTQ flag. Lindsay told the Post Millennial that woke students at the school apparently took the flyer as a death threat. A kid showed it to me, and the first thing I said was, "Oh, that's the poison symbol, not a threat. If you are educated here, you'd know that." I mean, they're making a good point. He's not threatening to kill anyone. He's saying this stuff is dangerous. It literally says the dangers of identity, politics, and intersectionality. It's the danger symbol. It's like, don't go there. Don't do it. Don't do it. The leftist agitators on the rather embarrassing campus convinced the leftist student government to freeze the funding based on the use of the internationally recognized poison symbol on the flyers, claiming it represented death threats against the LGBTQ. The designer is gay himself. Self-hating gay, probably. Molly says, Molly, a junior who serves as the co-president of the student government, told the Daily Northwestern that they froze the funds because the flyers were allegedly in violation of the university's policy on discrimination and harassment, which prohibits the display of offensive objects and pictures that are based on a protected class. So free speech is alive and well at Northwestern. We can't prevent a speaker from coming to campus as a student government. That's done by the administration. We focused on the part we could control, which is the student group conduct and student government finances. Weinberg College freshman Malik Rice, who serves as the student government's co-executive officer of justice and inclusion, their student government has a co-executive officer of justice and inclusion, which means there's two of them, helped write the legislation and said the student government has a duty to amplify the voices of the marginalized. This is a side of injustice and one of justice, he says. The student government does not want to be on the side of injustice. The funds will reportedly remain frozen until university officials investigate to determine if the posters violated the harassment policy. Augustin Breyer, the acting president of the Northwestern University College Republicans, claimed to the College Fix that their organization had not been told about the student government meeting that saw their funding pulled. Oh, so it's like they held a secret meeting to retaliate against speech they didn't like. Isn't that nice of them? They did not reach out to us regarding the concern over the advertisement nor the event, nor did they invite us to speak for ourselves at the meeting, and in fact, they still haven't even officially notified us of their decision. We only learned of their move from the school newspaper when they asked us for comment. Breyer told the Daily Northwestern that they consider the ASG's move as an attempt to kill our freedom of expression and speech at Northwestern. Northwestern University spokesperson John said in the lead up to the event with Lindsay that while the speaker's views do not align with Northwestern's commitment to diversity and inclusion, they are protected by free speech and free expression. Legal scholar and Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley, an alumnus of Northwestern, was also critical of the student government's actions and wrote on his website Tuesday that his alma mater has long been a school hostile to free speech. It is doubtful that other groups from the college Democrats to Black Lives Matter to pro-choice groups would be sanctioned for using the common symbol to express their opposition to the MAGA movement or racism or pro-life positions. That's a really good point. I do not like the imagery, and I expect that I do not agree with some of Lindsay's views. However, the actions taken by the board was legitimately called out by the writer as an attack on his free speech. Turley continued, adding that the university will have to do more than be a pearl-clutching pedestrian when confronted by such attacks on free speech. Well, I don't think that that's going to go over, but okay. Bruno, I'm reading their budget and apparently spent $38.9 million in equity and in learning. That's around five. Is this for Northwestern or is this for that school district, Bruno? That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of money for anyone. So, guys, that's what's going on at Northwestern. Free speech is alive and well, of course. All right, let's move on. And we're going to move into our main story for the day. Now, again, for those who have just joined, please mount that like button for me. I do appreciate it. So yesterday, I told you the story of the Colorado Teachers Union passing a resolution declaring capitalism inherently exploits children and public schools. And while I was midstream, I had the revelation that I exposed this asshole 2 years ago. I exposed this teacher that introduced this resolution to the Colorado Education Association 2 years ago. As a reminder, please always check the social media of your child's teachers. You will be glad you did, I promise you. Meet Brian Lindstrom. Brian is the teacher who sponsored the resolution passed by the teachers union in Colorado last week that declares capitalism inherently exploits children, public schools, land, labor, and resources. Now, if you think that sounds crazy, consider this. That wasn't even Brian's first draft of the resolution. The first draft, and we know this because they leaked a photo of it, the first draft says the CEA believes that capitalism requires the exploitation of children, public lands. I'm going to start that again. Sorry, guys. The CEA believes that capitalism requires the exploitation of children, public schools, land, labor, and/or resources, and therefore the only way to fully address systemic racism, the school-to-prison pipeline, climate change, patriarchy, gender and LGBTQ disparities, educational inequality, and income inequality is to, wait for it, dismantle capitalism and replace it with a new, equitable economic system. Now, I love this resolution. Okay, I don't like the content of this resolution, but what I do love about this resolution is it so clearly demonstrates what I have been preaching for probably damn near a year now, which is that the 4 goals of the woke left are always and forever the same. Gain as much power as possible, destabilize the system, attack capitalism, usher in their Marxist utopia. And how this works is that the woke left gets themselves into positions of power, either hard power or soft power, they then use that power to do things that will fundamentally destabilize the current system. Basically, they're going to cause problems. They will then blame the problems that they themselves are causing on capitalism because they hate capitalism and they want to get rid of it. And then they will rile people up to try to anger them about capitalism until they can say, here's a replacement for capitalism, and usher in their Marxist utopia. Do you guys see how that works? They gain power, they use that power to cause problems, they blame those problems on capitalism, and then they say our only solution is to usher in a Marxist utopia. Well, guess what this resolution does? This resolution literally does every single one of those things. Every single one of those things. Brian gained power to be able to introduce the resolution. Brian introduced a resolution that would fundamentally destabilize the system and in fact argued that the system had already been destabilized. Brian then said, the problem, the thing that destabilized the system is capitalism. And then Brian said, when he said replace capitalism with a new equitable economic system, he then said, I've got a system for you. Have you considered Marxism? And I'm going to prove Brian is a Marxist when we look at his tweets. But I really want everyone to see how this works. It is so slick. It is so insidious. But once you really, really understand that the four goals of the woke left are always and forever, gain as much power as possible, destabilize the system, attack capitalism, usher in their Marxist utopia, you will start to see exactly how they're doing it. I want to take this super chat from Newer2. Tucker Carlson is bringing his show to Twitter. Well, we'll see how that goes. That'll be exciting. When is he starting that, Newer2? And so I want to prove to you that Brian is indeed talking about Marxism because we always bring receipts on this show. Now, the first thing I want to show you is this. This is when I met Brian. This is when I became familiar with Brian. Because Brian, back in June of 2021, said on Twitter, I'm going on the record now. At the end of the day, it's just my students and me in our classroom, and we will be discussing race, class, and gender in my history class, regardless of what laws and policies people want to pass. Critical race theory is a component of everything I do. And then he followed up and said, I teach African American history, Latin American history, and world history, and focus on social movements. And people are surprised that race and gender get discussed. Well, I'm pretty sure that what happened is someone sent me this tweet, and then I made Brian go viral on Twitter. Because this is a time when my Twitter account was very active, very, very, very active. And I made Brian go viral on Twitter for this tweet. And Brian blocked me. But I got Brian, and he locked his account at the same time after I made him go viral. He blocked me and locked his account. But because we always get screenshots, screenshot everything, archive everything, and you can always get around a Twitter block. Just FYI, you like all you need to do is log in under like a browser that's not even logged in, or like a private browser or something like that. It's really not that hard. But like, just all better safe than sorry. Always get a screenshot because they're always going to block you. Bruno says, I found a PDF about using CRT as a tool of analysis and race in education in their site. Well done, Bruno. Well done. See, you guys are already doing such a good job. So I made Brian go viral. And I even, believe it or not, if you have a copy of my book, Actively Unwoke, The Ultimate Guide for Fighting Back Against the Woke Insanity in Your Life, I actually wrote about Brian in my book. I cited Brian specifically in a long list of instances where teachers are overtly saying that they are going to ignore laws and teach whatever they want in their classes. And I had a whole long list. You can find that in chapter 5 if you have a copy of the book. But that's why I remembered Brian. It's not that I have a photographic memory, but I remember things sometimes when they're really important. And that's what I remembered there. But that's not all Brian has tweeted, because last night While I was on my 5-hour private supporter call, of course, I was listening to my supporters and enjoying my time with them as we always do. Monday supporter calls are amazing, they are the best. But I also took the opportunity to just do some cursory Twitter searching through Brian's profile, and I want to show you what I found. And guys, again, if you just joined, always check the social media of your kids' teachers. Let me show you what this guy has been tweeting out for years. He is a high school history teacher. And we're going back to 2019, March 7th, 2019, retweeting AOC. In case you're unsure, systemic racism is a fact. Black lives matter, and white privilege is real, and I benefit from it, and it is my duty to be actively anti-racist. And this is why housing and educational justice are among my biggest passions. By the way, Brian has run for public office in Colorado at least twice. He is trying desperately to get in those positions of power. February 18th, 2020. But the people in the photo are all POC and or queer folks, FOLX. No white males at all. August 11th, 2020. Money for both the firearm and the safe to keep them in. I tend to follow Marx on the topic of guns. Oh, Brian is admitting that he's a Marxist. Told ya. September 1st, 2020. Can you be anti-capitalist and anti-patriarchy without being anti-capitalism? October 7th, 2020. A history of hit here too. I don't know how to say that word. Existing society in the history of class struggles. The real point in this is that he's quoting Marx. He's quoting Marx. Oh, wait, guys, it gets better. We're just getting started. November 4th, 2020. This is his reference to the Trump presidential election, or in 2020, the Trump-Biden presidential election. Why is the race so close? Don't they see how racist he is? Yes, he's racist. But just calling all Trump supporters racist really ignores the fault of us in this. Since Carter, the Democrats have stopped caring about workers, and now many of these blue-collar workers are done. Brian is literally telling us that he is more far left than the Democrats. Remind me, what's further left than the Democrats? December 3rd, 2020. This is Brian talking about the massive amount of learning loss that students faced during the pandemic. Brian doesn't seem to think that learning loss is a really big deal. So he says, they're falling behind. And me, behind what? We literally made up the standard and graduation requirements. We can just change them. This is the result of capitalism, plain and simple. We're predisposed to believe that everyone has to be productive at all times. Brian is quite literally saying, if students are experiencing learning loss, that's not a problem. No big deal. You want to know why? We can just lower the bar. That's all we need to do as teachers. Just lower the standard. Folks, this is equity in action. This is exactly what equity looks like. If someone can't achieve this level, just lower the standard. That's okay. Pull everyone down. And he's also blaming capitalism for the learning loss instead of the pandemic and the teachers' unions keeping the schools closed for 2 effing years. Or I guess 1 year at this point. Moving on, January 22nd, 2021. Capitalism supports racism. Capitalism supports heteropatriarchy. Capitalism supports ageism. Capitalism supports ableism. Capitalism supports imperialism. You can't be anti-racism, anti-heteropatriarchy, anti-war, anti-ableism without being anti-capitalism. March 1st, 2021. I think most people who support capitalism don't do so because it's working well for them. It's because they can't imagine a world without trading time or money or the commodification of everything. My fellow educators and I need to do better with getting our students to imagine. Let me read this one again. This one I think I glossed over in my head earlier, but this one is actually really important. This is a teacher. I think most people who support capitalism don't do so because it's working well for them. It's because they can't imagine a world without trading time or money or the commodification of everything. My fellow educators and I need to do better with getting our students to imagine something new. Brian is quite literally telling you in this tweet that we need to get our students to consider Marxism. We can't allow our students to support capitalism. We literally need them to teach them to support Marxism. They aren't even hiding it. March 24th, 2021. I'm sick of talking about the Band-Aid solutions and performative gestures. The elephant in the room is capitalism. End it, and we will solve so many of these plaguing issues. Now, this one is interesting to me. I want to go back to the resolution that Brian offered. And notice this. This is the original resolution that Brian offered for the Colorado Teachers Union that says that they need to agree to dismantle capitalism and replace it with a new equitable economic system, which means Marxism. And then he said the reason for submitting, we are constantly using band-aids and minor reforms to make things better, which is good, but the system itself is the problem and needs to be named. Well, what did Brian say here 2 years ago? I'm sick of talking about the band-aid solutions and performative gestures. The elephant in the room is capitalism. End it, and we will solve so many of the plaguing issues. He literally said this 2 years ago, and no one was paying attention. Brian says capitalism is giving the wolf control over the flock. Socialism is giving the flock control over the flock. That was from April 28th, 2021. I just haven't responded yet. I apologize. Brian says on April 29th, 2021, propaganda tells us that socialism takes away our freedoms. That's simply untrue. Production is made of capital, labor, and land use. Socialism versus capitalism is a debate over who should control the land. Capitalists say it should be those with capital, and socialists say it should be the workers. June 16th, 2021. This was the same day that I made Brian go viral. You're welcome, Brian. Apparently, people think tagging my district on my posts is going to get me to stop being vocal and anti-racist inside and outside my classroom. Inside and outside my classroom. My guy, I'm just as vocal to my principal and my superintendent. You think the person running the district social media is going to stop me? And it was this tweet here that inspired the idea of the little school investigation that we're going to do into Brian's school district. Because if he's this vocal with his principal and his superintendent, I want to know what else this school district is doing. And we've already got people in the chat that are doing a diligent job. Reagan says there are like 30 people on the organizational chart for the Division of Equity and Learning in their equity department. That's fucking crazy. Moving on. June 23rd, 2021. Critical race theory is the new Red Scare. June 28th, 2021. Gender is a construct, my friend. We should all be reflective enough to still be seeking clarity at any age. Thanks for sharing with us. July 1st, 2021. We don't have to be friends. We don't have to pick sides. Solidarity with the proletariat and fight for liberation together. July 6th, 2021. In the veil of ignorance thought exercise, no one chooses socialism. August 31st, 2022. Protect trans youth. BAM. Does anyone remember what BAM means? Pop quiz. Does anyone remember what BAM means? This is old school. If you're just coming to this new, you might not remember this. Does anyone remember what BAM stands for? This is not about like kapow or like BAM. It's not saying like loud noise or like mic drop or anything like that. BAM actually does stand for something. I'm just going to give people a moment in the chat to see if we get some guesses. By any means necessary, by any means necessary, by any means necessary, by any means necessary. Who uses the slogan of BAM? Does anyone remember? I got introduced to BAM through the Berkeley riots in what, like 2018? Not just socialists, not just socialists. That's Antifa. BAM is Antifa. If someone's using BAM, I'm going to go, are you an Antifa mother effer? Antifa, exactly, Nano. Nano got it. Gold star for Nano. On November 26, 2021, capitalism benefits from the patriarchy. You can't have class consciousness while ignoring entire classes of people. September 18th, 2022, he's replying to Daniel Buck, who is a prominent anti-woke activist who's also a teacher. He says, you literally get paid to push anti-teacher, anti-union, racist, classist propaganda. December 20th, 2022, there's no voluntary work under capitalism. The threat of starvation and homelessness is coercive. Now, here's a really fun one. This one we're going to have to read between the lines through a little bit, but I know that some of you are going to see what I see in this. So in December, Brian was replying to a woman named Justine. Justine says, at a holiday gathering last night, a family friend told me, you haven't had kids or even been married. What happened? Then she proceeds to warn me that one day I will be eating turkey dinner all alone if I don't figure it out soon. So happy holidays to me. Okay, fine. Brian responds, internalized capitalism and rugged individualism. We couldn't possibly be happy being a member of a grander community. You must create a community of biologically connected people in order to be connected. I'm sorry that viewpoint got vomited onto you. Why does it seem like Brian is attacking the biological family by calling it a community of biologically connected people? Does anyone else think that Brian is like waffling around abolish the biological family? I think Brian's waffling around abolish the biological family, which I've covered extensively on the channel if you haven't seen it. In this one, Brian is responding to this image called Socialism for Dummies. Everything is free, but we're all out of it. And he says this is literally a photo of a store under capitalism. In this one, Brian is responding to an account called Trash Panda with a trans pride flag. And the account says, what do you consider to be the bare minimum qualification for someone to be considered a leftist? And Brian says, capitalism bad. And this is like the last one I have for right now, but, you know, says a lot. May 8th, 2023, just yesterday. Why is it so hard to realize that gender and sexuality are fluid spectrums versus fixed binaries? People like what they like, are who they are. You don't have to understand it or even like it to realize it's none of your concern and that rights shouldn't be dependent on your feels. Guys, I found all of these tweets within about 15, 20 minutes. Really didn't take that long. I probably could have done it like a lot faster if I wasn't on a community call when I did it because my attention was going back and forth. But this was a really quick exercise. And the way that I did it is I searched Brian's Twitter account for a variety of words. And you can find the list over on the website. This is totally free. Let me pop the link in the chat. Please make sure you subscribe for free on my website while you're there. Here are the list of keywords that I used to find those tweets. Capitalism, Marxism, patriarchy, critical race theory, whiteness, anti-racism, gender, non-binary, transphobe, liberation, abolition, proletariat. And that's not a comprehensive list. That was just the list that I was doing off the top of my head. But if you search for the Twitter account name and those words, it took me 15 minutes to find all of these tweets that very clearly show that Brian is a Marxist. And so when he got a resolution passed by the Colorado Teachers Union to denounce capitalism, we could have seen this coming for years. I wonder how many conservative parents had their children educated by Brian, not realizing that Brian is a far left Marxist activist. That would be a really good question, wouldn't it? But I think we can start to answer that question today, and let's pop in and we're going to do some school investigation. Now, guys, this is where we go onto a school website. We start at the school district website, and I'm just going to do some searches and we're going to see what information pops up. We already have some people doing investigation in the chat already, so that's really great. School investigation streams, which I don't do often, and I did a whole crying thing last week where I was like, I'm never doing these again. And now I'm already breaking my own promise, whatever. But we're going to be looking into Brian's school district, okay? Because Brian tweeted that he tells his school principal and his school superintendent all the time that they need to be more actively anti-racist and they need to denounce capitalism. And so if Brian is saying this stuff in the school district, then that means that there's probably some there. Bot says they took down a lot of their incriminating videos. Oh no. Oh, really? Really? Why did they didn't take down the video? Hang on, I'll show you what Bot showed me. Hang on. Bot, they didn't take down the videos. The videos are still there. They're right there. Holy shit. Oh, you're right. They did take them down. This one is still there. Hang on. Pause. Hang on. I'm downloading the shit out. Hang on. Always be able to download YouTube videos at the drop of a hat, especially when you're on websites doing live investigation streams on the internet. Let me just make sure the download starts. Come on, download. Start. All right. Well, that's not doing it right now, but we'll get that. Okay. So what we do, this is going to be a great portion of the stream to watch if you are a parent of a child and you want to know how to go onto their school district website and find stuff. Now, I am going to go very, very quickly because I don't have that much time to do this today. If you want to know how to do this, I will teach you how to do this. I have a program called Schools Exposed. You can find it at schoolsexposed.com. It is an online training program. It is due for a big update. I set it aside for a couple weeks and I do apologize for that, but it's due for a big update. I'm going to be adding a lot more of the material that I recorded a couple months ago. I was kind of waiting for people to get in and use the program and evaluate a couple things, but it is due for a big update. I do hope to be able to do that this week, and we're going to be getting back to it. So I apologize for the delay in the absence on that, but this is really important, guys. And now that I'm going to not be doing as much of this stuff publicly, it's actually going to help me to focus more privately, which is good. But I'm going to be applying some of the same techniques, but I'm not going to be taking the time to really break them down and explain it. So this is going to be fast paced. If you can't follow along, that's okay. You can always go back and watch. George Santos has been charged with what? What did he do? I mean, like everything, really. So when we start a school investigation stream, and I'm going in completely blind to this, I have no idea what they're doing. Actually, I'm going to pull this out into a separate window, because I usually end up opening a lot of tabs when I do school investigation streams. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting by doing a search. Okay, so this is going to be the easiest way into any school website, is to find the search bar, which is this little magnifying glass looking thing. And the very first thing I do any single time I'm doing a school investigation stream is I search for equity, because that's one of their main keywords. Let's see what comes up. Oh, APS Division of Equity and Learning. Division Equity Toolkit for Administrators. High School Planning Guides, Division of Equity. Equity and Learning Opportunity. Excellence in Equity in the Division of Equity and Learning. Except calendar. We always look for calendars. The reason we look for calendars is that professional development trainings for teachers usually go through the Office of Equity. And so if you can find their event calendars, you can find what professional training your teachers are getting. All right, that's a good place to start. Let's start there. Welcome to the Division of Equity and Learning. Curriculum and instruction. I want to go there. So now we know the staff members involved. So I want to find Zachary on social media and I want to see what Zachary is saying. Oh, look. The Division of Equity and Learning in the Aurora Public Schools has curriculum and instruction resources starting in preschool. So these are all things. If I was a parent in this school district, these are all things that I would want to go through and look at. I don't have time to go through and look at them today. But these are all things, all these resources are things you want to go in and look at. What's this instructional framework? Let's look at this. Oh, can't access it. Dang. Some of them are going to be behind a password. Oh, not this one. Curriculum maps. Haha. Damn. Password protected. All right, so that doesn't seem to be working. That's all right. Let's see. Organizational chart. Reagan was talking about this earlier. An organizational chart is a great place to start when you're looking at when you're trying to figure out what's going on with your school for equity, because you want to see who their staff members are. So you know how this is about. Bruno says, if any links give you a connection is not private, enter the link in an outdated browser like Internet Explorer. That's a good tip, Bruno. I'm going to do that. Thank you. So one of the first things you want to do when you're investigating the schools is that you want a list of staff members who are in charge of the equity office. Why? Because you want to be able to go on their social media and find out what these people are tweeting about. And look at this. So we know that the Division of Equity and Learning reports to the Chief Academic Officer. This is so crazy. Hang on, let me see if I can make this. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, you kind of can. Let me see. A lot of assistants. Director of Early Childhood Education, Director of Leadership Development, Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Learning Resources. This is crazy. So, do you know what's crazy about this? I've never seen this before. This is not just an equity division. Usually when in schools, we find divisions of equity that are separate from other divisions. This is not just an equity division. The equity division has quite literally taken over the entire educational staff. This reports to the Chief Academic Officer. Every single one of these people are in the Division of Equity and Learning. I have never seen Chief Academic Officer be the head of the Division of Equity and Learning. That means, to just really be clear about this, every single thing this school district does in terms of the curriculum that kids are learning is going to be rooted in equity. And the entire school district is completely bought into it. Every single one of these people, every single one of these positions, we have Executive Director of School Performance. We've got Executive Director of Student Support Services. We've got Executive Director of Curriculum. We've got Executive Director of Student Success, Director of Mental Health and Counseling Services, Director of Family Advocacy, Director of Behavior Support Systems, Director of College and Career Services, Director of Professional Learning, Director of Learning Resources. Every single one of these people is located in the Division of Equity. Every time you hear the word equity in a school district, Alarm bells should be going off because equity is code for Marxism. Gator Aaron, I want to make sure you know we all appreciate you doing this work, Carlin. Thank you, Gator Aaron. I do appreciate it. So that's a nice little revelation, isn't it? That's a nice little revelation. And then they have other division report org charts. Let's see. Oh, that's the same thing. Oh no. Okay. Look at all these professional learning. This is something we want to zone in on. Professional learning is always revelatory. Culturally and linguistically diverse education, assessment and literacy, assessment, learning resources, early childhood education. Does anyone have a problem with early childhood education being grounded in equity? School performance. Holy shit. I don't know what this adventures thing or avenues thing is. Health services, student success, college and career success. All of this is located within the equity division. That's crazy. All right, good to know. Let's go back. Maria over on Rockfin, thank you for the $5 tip. Let me just pull my Rockfin chat up really quickly to see what Maria had to say. Oh, nothing, just the $5 tip. Thank you, Maria, for the tip over on Rockfin. I really do appreciate it. Emphasize says collecting multiple paychecks. No, they're not collecting multiple paychecks. That's not what's happening. But it's to be aware that everything that they do is going to be grounded in that sensibility. All right, let's see what else we can unearth. Now, I do always like to find their social media. Let's see. Twitter. Let's go on their Twitter. Did anyone find their YouTube channel? Bot, do you have their YouTube channel? School performance, school success. Let me see. What I really want, I want to find the division of learning. What do they call that? Professional development. Training, division of learning. There it is. Okay. The reason when you're doing a school investigation stream that you always want to look at their professional learning, their professional development is because everything that your teachers are trained on is going to make its way into the classroom. Thank you, Bot, for sending me the YouTube link. I do appreciate it. Copy clean link. So that's something you always want to make sure you take a look at, but I want to look at this YouTube channel. Let's see. Oh, they turned off the search function on their YouTube channel, which is very nice of them. I'm always suspicious when places turn off the search function on their YouTube channel because I'm kind of like, why don't you want me searching your YouTube channel? But there's only 300 videos, so let's see. Have they ever done a live? No lives. Let's see if we can find any goodies in their YouTube channel real quick. A lot of school districts will post their equity trainings and their equity discussions on their YouTube channel. And when you find them, you've got to sit down and watch them. I know you don't want to, but you have to. And they'll post a lot of good stuff too. Not everything that every school district does is bad. Let's see. Lots of like celebration, student stuff. Exactly. This is the big question. What are they hiding? We always want to ask, what exactly are they hiding? Graduation. Learning models. I might watch that. That might be something I would look at. Equity does not mean equality, Murphy's Pool. Don't spread that lie. Thank you for the super chat. Remote learning. All right, nothing overt is popping out at me, which is good. Best case scenario on a school investigation stream, nothing overt is popping out. So that's out now. Now we already know there's more. There's more than enough, like, there in this school district. But it's a good thing when you don't find what you think is going to be there. Let me just look. Equity. No, it doesn't seem to be any. Okay, all right. Let's see. Here's what Bruno was talking about. Using critical. Hang on. I just want to go to the website. Jesus fucking Christ. Hang on. I bet I know what's going on. Oh no. Dang, it's not letting us go to that website. All right. Let's go back. High school planning guides. Let's take a look real quick. I wonder if I'm just going to download this and open it up in Adobe Acrobat because I want to be able to search it. Let me show you what I'm looking at. I'm searching in Adobe Acrobat. Okay. Let me see. What I want to do is I want to go, bing, find equity. No matches. All right. Race. No, that's trace. How about gender? Check this out. Contemporary world history. This has got to be one of Brian's classes. I bet you anything. Oh, you're not seeing the same thing I am. What the heck? So basically what I did is I did a search for gender. And remember, Brian told us that he was a history teacher in the Aurora Public Schools, right? So I did a search for gender within their curriculum, and guess what came up? Contemporary world history. Students will study a selection of 20th century world history topics that include causes, practices, and effects of war, the rise and rule of single-party states, and the Cold War. A holistic approach will be used with political, social, economic, cultural, and gender issues integrated into the study of each topic when, and where appropriate. They are telling us in the curriculum guideline that they are integrating gender ideology into history class. And I want you guys to see how just innocuous this looks. I think that oftentimes people get confused because they're shown these TikTok videos of crazy people doing crazy things. And I'm not suggesting you shouldn't watch those TikTok videos. You should watch those TikTok videos. But in the real world, the things that are actually impacting your kids, they're quiet. They're not going to hit you upside the head. They're quiet. All right? The TikTok videos are the distraction. The curriculum where they've just integrated gender into world history class, that's the real thing. The TikTok videos are the magician's assistant. The TikTok videos are the magician's assistant twirling around the stage, wearing a sparkly outfit that's low cut so you can see the boobs and like the butt and all that stuff. And while you're watching the magician's assistant twirl around the stage in the TikTok videos, the teachers are quietly integrating the ideology into the standard curriculum so that no one knows about it. It's just like it's always been there. We're not making a big deal. We're not making a big fuss. They're not making a TikTok video. Brian didn't make a TikTok video just saying, guys, I integrated gender into my world history class. The TikTok videos are the magician's assistant. They're meant to distract you. Well, you're distracted by the TikTok videos and by Dylan Mulvaney and by Bud Light and by drag queens and by all these things with sparkle and flair. The magician is doing their trick on the other side of the stage. And this is the trick. This is how they're integrating the ideology into the curriculum. Reagan, you found some information? 1 sec, please. I need to get it up in my other browser. Oh, this does look interesting, Reagan. Hang on. Were there any other matches for gender? Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, that's psychology. That makes more sense. Okay, before we move on to Reagan's thing, though, I want to show you guys this. Look at these other history classes. They're all history classes. It's like Brian was telling the truth when he said he was a history teacher. Look at this. Hang on, I have like 8,000 windows open on my desktop. U.S. History to Reconstruction. This college-level course explores events, trends, people, groups, cultures, ideas, and institutions in North America and the United States history, including the multiple perspectives of gender, class, and ethnicity. There it is. Does everyone see this? I guarantee you Brian's teaching these classes. U.S. History since the Civil War. This college-level course explores events, trends, people, groups, cultures, ideas, and institutions in United States history, including the multiple perspectives of gender, class, ethnicity. I would bet you all the money in my bank account that Brian is trans. I've never heard Brian speak, but Brian looks trans to me. Did anyone else get that impression? Let me just bring up his picture again. I'll get it on within the 87. Let me show you Brian's picture again. I'm gonna bet you money. I bet you money. If I heard Brian talk, Brian would be trans. Does Brian look trans to you? Brian looks trans to me. He just has, I can't put my finger on it, just has that look about him. Am I wrong? His full name bot is Brian Lindstrom. In fact, let me do this. Brian also has he, him in his Twitter profile. Brian Lindstrom, trans. All right, nothing is popping up overtly, so we'll move on for right now. But I bet money Brian's trans. Too many, like, gender was like the first thing that came up in every single one of those courses. Anyway, let's go back and find what Reagan sent me, which I think I put in here. No. Oh, no, I put it over here. Okay. Here's what Reagan sent me. Okay, so here's our, thank you for this, Reagan. This is great. Professional Learning, Teach, Learn, Coach, Grow. The 2023 Summer Catalog. Let's see. It's going to go in another window. All right. Let's see. What are they teaching teachers? What are they teaching teachers? I literally just want to see your schedule. Special ed providers, IEPs, that's fine. Oh, bing. Race and education. Credential choice course for elective teachers. This 8-week blended workshop explores the role of race in the classroom. Participants will engage in weekly online discussions and application work. Let's see what else. English language. Some of this stuff is legit. Again, guys, don't ever assume, oh, here's race and education. Never assume that stuff is bad. We still don't know what the race and education course actually says, so it might be perfectly fine. But we want to find out what it actually says. Let's see, robots. I would like to take a course about robots. Google Classroom. Fine, fine, fine. Using Minecraft? I thought Minecraft was like a game. Okay. Exceptional student services. So this actually might be okay, guys. I'm seeing a lot of things that are generally speaking okay. That race and education class was oh, there it is. Spoke too soon. It's always when I'm like, I don't really see anything to worry about. It's like, boom. Social justice in your classroom. Is that clickable? No. Social justice in your classroom. Build learning experiences for your students that support social justice through the inclusion of diverse perspectives, equitable examples of agency and engagement, and response strategies that elevate student voices. In this course, consider the importance of intentional content choices that support representation, amplify unheard and underrepresented perspectives, and present equitable examples of agency. Explore Newsela focused. What is Newsela? New Newsela. What is that? Explore Newsela content focused on social justice to embed into your subject area. Oh, so they're running courses that are teaching teachers how to quite literally embed social justice into their curriculum. Oh, Bruno, what's their alternative YouTube channel? I would love to see that equity playlist. Examine the way Newsela annotations and write prompts can be customized and leveraged to support students' reflection and meaning making. This is why you always go through the whole document. And I saw some, I think Reagan said last page 37. All right, we're getting there, Reagan. All right. Let's see. You always want to look at everything. Everything. Even when you're bored, even when you don't want to look anymore, you can always take a break and come back later. You need to look at every single document. You need to read them. We're going pretty quick here, but you need to do this. I know you don't want to. This isn't exactly how I wanted to spend an evening. Mindfulness. F these people. I hate that these people bastardize mindfulness. It drives me nuts. Chair yoga, meditation, blah, blah, blah. Oh, hello. Oh, they've got a website? Hello. Hello. Oh, Reagan. That's a really nice find, Reagan. Wow. All right, let me get this website up. www.aqeieej.org. Oh. Oh. This is nice. This is a new fresh hell that we've discovered. A queer endeavor. Educator Institute for Equity and Justice, July 20 through 21st, 2023. Healing and belonging. All right. Let's take a look at this. This is the website. What is this? Should I go? Hybrid event. Wait. Can we watch this? Are they doing this on digital? I think I just had an orgasm. I'm so excited. They're gonna stream this? I think that if they're going to go through the trouble of streaming the 4th Annual Educator Institute and Equity and Justice Conference, we might have to ourselves partake. Does that sound like a good time for anyone else? I think I need a cigarette after this discovery. Exactly. I love how we're like, we can watch crazy shit for like 2 straight days. Oh my word. Ah, baby. Like, yeah, this is the stuff that gets me excited. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna infiltrate. We're gonna infiltrate so hard. There are gonna be several of us infiltrating this. I'm telling you right now, we're gonna have backup upon backup upon backup upon backup, and there's nothing you can do about it. And we might not be able to do it on YouTube because I'm not gonna get copyright stricken by these assholes. But that doesn't mean, guys, if I streamed the shit out of this on Rumble, they would never know. They would never, ever, 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 ever know. Hello. Hello. We have a spy among us that works for the school system. Trendlin wants to help. Guys, this is going to be great. This is the best thing that has ever happened. We are going to make this a community activity. We are going to infiltrate the shit out of this. This is going to be amazing. All right, let's not get too excited. Let's look around a little bit. Let's see what's going on. What is this? A queer endeavor? Holy shit! Guys, this is out of the University of Colorado. This is out of the University of Colorado. A Queer Endeavor is a nationally recognized center for gender and sexual diversity in education. We build partnerships with districts and school communities to create safer, more humanizing spaces in which LGBTQ plus folks, or I said folks without thinking about it, youth, families, and staff can thrive. The work of A Queer Endeavor is made possible through our school district partnership grants, gifts, generous support from our community. Gloria, it doesn't matter. The Horde can't do shit. We use fake identities so they can't identify us. It's all good. I have you guys don't even want to know how many fake accounts I have. You don't it's embarrassing the number of fake accounts I have specifically for stuff like this. All right, let's go back. I'm not ready to look at A Queer Endeavor yet. I want to know what the schedule is. Register here. How much is this going to cost me? Register. $100. Fuck yeah. Oh, and we can get, look at this. $100. Sold. Wait, hang on. Yes, we get everything. Virtual registration. Choose the registration types for the all virtual event experience. 2 keynotes. All main theater programming. Access to hybrid sessions. Guys, we're going to have to crowdfund this, I think. Because I am going to need multiple people to register for it, because what we want to do is make sure we have backup upon backup upon backup. So if they kick out one person, we still have representation. We can get a group discount code. That would be pretty great. That's a great idea. Do they offer that? But I think $100 is more than fair. I would totally plunk down for a couple of registrations. Wouldn't it be funny? Okay, I'm not gonna do this. I swear to God. But wouldn't it be funny if I got a sponsorship level package and I had and I sponsored under actively unwoke? but I created like a fake website or something that looked like totally like legit and like LGBTQ and activist. And then like the day of the conference, I redirect the URL to the website to go to actively unwoke as a troll. And we would also get a team of people that I could provide a thank you during the opening. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, we're gonna have to think about this. This might be the best troll that I have ever done in the history of ever. Let's just, everyone calm down. The important part is that we get the content. You're going to be on the team, LK. Don't worry about it. Beth, $20 to get you started. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate it. Murphy's Pool asked Brian if he was trans. Excellent job, Murphy's Pool. We'll see what Brian says. I'm sure he'll be very responsive and delighted that you asked him that question. Shauna says, our power is in our ability to make things unworkable. What does that sound like? Disrupt the system. Where did you see that, Shauna? No, that absolutely does sound like disrupt the system. I'm just wondering where you heard it. Yep. See, Tinge is making a good point. This is why we need to be strategic about this and sneaky. It's not like we're live on the internet right now or anything. We need to be sneaky about it. And we probably shouldn't register as a group. As funny as that is, just everyone calm down. We're going to think about it, all right? Terry says, here's 5 British pounds for you. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate it. I hope you had a good coronation weekend. All right, but this is totally workable. Holy shit. The keynote is called Queering the Keynote. Queering the Keynote. Oh my God. There's like not a small part of me that wants to go to this in person if I'm honest about it, but I know it'll be better to stream it because we'll be able to do commentary. But there's not like a small, I'm like, can someone please just fly me to fucking Colorado? But anyway, we'll figure that out. I know virtual is better. Colorado's a pain in the ass too. All right, let's see. They have a countdown, which means it's our count. Submit a proposal. When's the proposal due by? Oh, look, guys. Look. We have a whole month to submit a proposal for the conference. So maybe, I was like, so you guys know I've talked about this. There's this socialist conference I want to go to in a couple of months. And I was this close to submitting a proposal to the socialist conference. I was like, I speak such good socialist now. I bet I could totally get away with this. Nick, this is a great suggestion. We need to get Jennifer in on this because Jennifer can be our woman on the ground. Jennifer could totally blend in. We'll send Jennifer in person. She'll be thrilled. All right, let's see what this is. Thank you for your interest in submitting a proposal. Historically, institutions of education in the U.S. have been biased towards particular learners: white, middle class, straight, cisgendered, English monolingual speakers, and students and teachers whose cultural practices align with, create, perpetuate dominant ideas of what's normal. This is going to be so woke and so amazing. This is incredible. What a find. Guys, this is the magic of school investigations. This is why I need more people to want to do school investigations, because we uncover shit in school investigations that will absolutely blow your effing mind. This is going to be one of the most woke things we've ever watched in our life. Deeply embedded in learning environments that maintain the status quo, these norms not only fail to affirm the diversity of many students they serve, but fail these students by design. As educators whose commitments are oriented towards justice and freedom, we know this well. In this historical moment, educators are combating attacks on equity and justice in public education, specifically in their efforts to teach curriculum focused on systemic inequities rooted in racism, sexism, transphobia, and so much more. 41 states and counting have introduced bills or taken other action that would limit teachers' rights to teach the truth about how power, privilege, whiteness, and systemic oppression have profoundly shaped U.S. history. Meanwhile, 2023 has already surpassed the records broken in 2021 and 2022 for anti-trans bills in the US, most of which target youth. As educators, we each have a responsibility to interrogate the impact of enduring attacks on justice and freedom-focused teaching and learning. And in truth, all of this leaves us, the EIEJ team, wondering, where do we go from here? This is so woke. That was on the school page. Holy shit, Shauna. Let me see. Let me go back. Is this what you're talking about, Shauna? Let me know. Or was it something else? Anyway. Thank you for the super chat. This is going to be the most woke thing we've ever seen. This might even beat socialism. It was in their main photo. On what page? On what page? This one? Oh, shit. You're right. I see it now. Okay. It was right in front of me. On the University of Colorado Boulder, under a queer endeavor, we need in every community a group of angelic troublemakers. Our power is in our ability to make things unworkable. Holy shit. Shauna, queen of the chat for the day. Like, that was an excellent spot, Shauna. I didn't see that. It didn't even register. Excellent, excellent, excellent spot. Well done. Let's see. Where's that information page? In our pursuit, so EIEJ 2023 theme, belonging and healing. And what this is, guys, is this is going to give us a preview in what we can expect to see at the conference. Not that, I mean, conferences never really strictly adhere to themes, but like this will give us an idea of what we can expect to find. In our pursuit of living the question, where do we go from here? We focused on belonging and healing as the theme for this year's Institute. Okay. Question. Does this, and this is, I'm asking someone to do some digging, bot, or someone else if you want. Are the previous institutes archived somewhere? Do they have the videos from the previous years of these things on a YouTube channel, on their website? Let's find the previous videos. We know they do a virtual option. They must exist somewhere. Maybe someone can even ask them for the videos if we can't find them. But I'm going to bet there's a YouTube channel or something on their webpage somewhere where they have the videos of the previous years. And I'm going to bet that's going to be like a treasure trove of crazy. First, we are compelled to acknowledge how belonging and healing have become buzzwords that operate to uphold the kind of performative, surface-level, linear thinking about systems of normativity that we seek to disrupt. For example, notions of belonging so often rely on in-out groups, on assimilationist models of community, i.e., they should be more normal like us. These notions don't question harmful context, who those contexts miss or alienate, why some students might not want to belong, or how and why belonging might actually be harmful to students. And healing is frequently framed as a linear process in which pain and or grief is something to be fixed or named and then healed, exacerbating the idea that completeness is possible and measurable. As we see it, healing is a movement towards wholeness, and this movement causes disruption in what we consider normal, comfortable. It's a beautiful rupture in many ways. We also want to acknowledge that for many of us, placing healing alongside systems of inequity seems impossible. These are the very systems that have and continue to cause harm. Our decision to anchor EIEJ in healing and belonging, then, demands more than ever that we engage critical, queer, and anti-oppressive lenses. It demands that while we center care, we actively interrupt oppressive ideas about what care looks like. Holy shit. What does this sound like? It demands that while we center care, we actively interrupt oppressive ideas about what care looks like. What does that sound like to you? Is anyone hearing the same thing I am in that? I want to this is going to be a good one for Socialism Saturday regulars. Gloria! Gold star for Gloria. That sounds like abolish the family. This argument around care being oppressive is the same argument that Sophie Lewis makes on the family. Sophie Lewis says that care is oppressive within the biological family model. Well done, guys. A couple of you got it. Well done. It demands that we question our assumptions about belonging and healing, about start and end points, and that we ask ourselves, as educators committed to justice, what do healing and belonging feel like? How might that feeling be shaped by our lives and experiences? What do healing and belonging offer us as educators in our current socio-political context, where opportunities for cultivating critical consciousness are— holy shit! They flat out say they're cultivating critical consciousness. I almost missed that because I was just going into— they flat out say, as educators in our current socio-political context, where opportunities for cultivating critical consciousness are few and far between, how do we honor healing as a community-based collective endeavor? And what does it mean to foster classroom spaces in which students can consider and engage the same? Sophie wrote 2 books about that. Shauna says they're using care as a way to brainwash people. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Session criteria. What are we hoping you will share? In this spirit, we invite session proposals that center this year's theme of care and healing and belonging. 2, teach content. Some examples are below. 3, address one or more of the following: anti-racism. Holy shit, guys. I'm getting more and more excited as we're— this is like socialism in July, guys. It's so beautiful. I thought after Red May, we were going to have to wait until the fall to have a lot of socialism again. No, this is like socialism in July. Oh, Kurt. I love that Kurt is watching this on LinkedIn right now. He's right, though. This is downright evil. Parents, get your kids out of the government schools. Teach content. Okay. Address one or more of the following: anti-racism, abolitionist teaching, gender, family, sexual diversity, bi and multilingualism, equity in rural communities, supporting first-generation and undocumented students, and critical disability studies. The EIEJ is grounded in anti-oppressive theories and is practice-focused. This means all sessions should include resources, practical strategies, and time for participants to practice the work of creating schools that are more equitable and just. We will give priority to sessions that include tangible resources and action steps for educators use serving adults to take back to their unique settings. Finally, EIEJ is by educator for educator. We invite teachers and facilitators who have experience working directly with youth and/or pre- and in-service educators. Sin says, care, what happened to children, disabled, and seniors? With care being abolished, the energy is really, really dark. I agree with you, Sin. Thank you for the super chat. LK says, I should apply to do a presentation like addressing capitalism in the speech. Can you please do this? I'm not joking, LK. Can you please do this? Just to see. This is going to be like our own little grievance studies, okay? In fact, I just had an idea. You should absolutely do this. I will help you write it. It'll be great. Just to see if it gets accepted. Just to see. Sessions might focus on this just keeps getting better. Content examples. Sessions might focus on teaching math through an anti-racist lens, implementing new social studies standards, becoming a principal and navigating pushback, engaging queer and trans content in bilingual communities, engaging elementary students in matters of justice, curriculum development and or implementation, teaching English language arts through critical lenses, policy initiatives, safe and brave spaces, healing practices for both educators and students, starting a gender and sexuality alliance. Starting a gender and sexuality alliance. Engaging colleagues in hard conversations. Navigating white leadership as an educator of color. When you're triggered in the classroom, what next? Can I just say, like, I have felt so invigorated in the last week with all of the positive feedback that I've gotten from people, and I just wanna say that I feel so blessed to be able to do this job where I'm literally just reading documents that like this, that are just hilarious and yet terrifying at the same time, but honestly, sometimes really effing hilarious. And I just wanna thank you all for that gift. You guys allow me to do what I do, and I really appreciate it. Organizing the community towards change. How to focus on teaching and generational healing when you and your students' trauma both come with you to school. Boom! Bot. This is why Bot is the chief investigative officer of the cult. Bot, did I see you wearing your t-shirt yesterday in the Zoom with cancel culture? I forgot to comment on it. The Phyllis office, this is modern day Red Guard commissar training. Yes, it is. Commissar training. There it is. Let me just get Bot's find up. It's in another window that I have to click on it. Oh, God. These people have no idea what's about to hit them right in the goddamn face. Okay, we'll look at that one in a second. I just want to finish reading this page. Yes, I saw the zombies t-shirt. Did you like the way it came out? I thought it looked good. We would love proposals from district level teams doing justice and equity work. I would like those proposals as well. Educators in district focus on the implementation of the revised. What is this? What is the revised social studies standards in House Bill 191192? Let me just, that sounds like a Colorado thing, and I don't know what it is, but the fact that they want presentations on it makes me wonder what it is. History, Culture, Social Contributions, and Civil Government in Education Commission. During the 2019 legislative session, the Colorado General Assembly passed a House bill concerning the inclusion of matters relating to American minorities in the teaching of social contributions to history. Oh, it's critical race theory. Oh, Colorado passed a law that's on the Colorado Department of Education website mandating the teaching of critical race theory. Oh, great. Oh, that's just beautiful. Well done, Colorado. Bot's also got the outline of the presentations for 2021. All right, Bot, hang on a sec. I want to finish looking at this, though. So, guys, like, when you're doing a school investigation stream, this is the type of granularity, and not just a stream. Like, if you're investigating your kid's school, like, this is the type of granularity. Like, if there's something that you don't understand, like, search for it. Make a note, leave it, because there are so many Easter eggs embedded in every single one of these things that you can come up. I call this the fire hose part of the investigation, because the amount of content coming at you is like a fire hose. You just need to, like, allow yourself to be overwhelmed with it and make notes about, like, what's that? I don't know what that is. What's that thing over there? And then you can go and look into it later. Okay. You can always take breaks when you need to. No harm, no foul, no rush. Take care of yourself when you're doing it, but you really want to make sure that you look into everything. Christine says, my contribution. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate it. I lived there. It's so expensive. Oh, I know. I bet. I bet. And that's all of that. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Let's look at this thing that Bot found for their 2021 Institute. So we've got the, holy shit, I want these videos so bad. I want them so bad. Please have the videos. Please. Wait. Can we get the videos? No. They didn't update the website. I was like, are these on demand? They have a Twitter? Oh my god. It's Christmas. I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy right now. Okay. I know this is a little above board, but I actually am happy about this. They took the videos down. I wonder if we can email them and ask them where the videos are. Hang on. Let me look on YouTube real quick. Oh, is Autumn here? Sorry, Autumn. I didn't see you come in. Homeschooling will make it hard for him to develop. No, that's not true, Autumn. That's not true. That's propaganda. A lot of homeschooling nowadays is actually done in pods. Oh. Oh, guys, guess what I... Wait, no, not the same thing. Wait, no, it isn't. Guess what I just found. A queer endeavor, inclusive K through 12 education. What's this? National Center for Women in Information for Women in Information Technology. Okay, maybe not quite. Like, this is Queer Endeavor, though, is the name of the wow. That's a whole other thing to look into. Those videos have got to exist somewhere. Hey, LK, since you're a teacher or an educator, can you email them and ask them if they have video archives of their past events? Like, I'm really interested in coming to your event, and I just and I'm really interested. I found these session descriptions, and I'm really interested in seeing some of these sessions, and I just wonder if you have videos of these sessions, and I'll totally pay for it. I'll pay the $100. Like, can someone please email them and ask them? All right. Here's some of their 2021 sessions. How to, and by the way, guys, you know what's great about this? Check this out. You know what's especially great about this? We have all their names. We have the names of every single person who has presented one of these sessions. Thank you, LK. I appreciate it. That means we can look them up and find their Twitters. Yeah, I'll do that. All right. Some of the session type. Wait. Bot, what'd you just find? No, that's not from them. I mean, it might be related to them, but it's not from them. I don't think. I have it pulled. No, that's from a different thing. I've got it pulled up, though. We'll look at that another time. All right. How to liberate your curriculum, getting started as a DEI instructor. Making GLISTEN. GLISTEN is a far left woke progressive organization that's teaching kids about sex. Making GLISTEN work for you, exploring free LGBTQ inclusive lessons and resources in your classroom. Queering Chicon X studies. I'm not sure about Latinx. My privilege and my classroom. So, guys, if we can't find the videos, what we probably can do is look up these people and see, did they put their slide decks anywhere? I want to know what my privilege in classroom is about, Robin. Did they put their slide decks anywhere? Did they put the video anywhere of them posting the presentation? 6 minutes, it shows it. So maybe it is them. Good job, bot. We'll take a look. Say what? Learning to talk about the work of affirming gender and sexual diversity in school. Advanced inclusion by disrupting racism. Critical care and compassionate organizing in schools. Queering sexual violence prevention and education. Engaging community organizers to support equity and social justice in K through 12 schools. Legal guidance on transgender and gender nonconforming students' rights. Not parents' rights, students' rights. What the hell just happened? Probably tried to click on it. Let's see, where am I? Rethinking disability with children's literature. Creating an inclusive classroom on day one. Foundations in equity, initiating a culturally responsive dialogue. Respect, that's what pronouns mean to me. An introduction for the use of gender neutral language. Reading together, using book studies to foster student voices and equity. The unexpected pronoun game. Practicing trans-friendly language. Moving beyond inclusion, cultivating a queer mindset with students. Name it to tame it, the body's never-ending teaching and learning towards anti-racism. Research activism, organizing and advocating for intersectional trans youth in schools. Preparing, oh, check this out. Preparing a new wave of critically and socially just educators, showing up queer, teachers as resistors, bringing our lessons to the classroom. Beyond binary, LGBTQ concepts and etiquette. Honoring the voices of LGBTQ students in supporting teachers. The discomfort of unknowing. Oh my God. Embracing the possibility when teaching sex, gender, and sexuality in elementary classrooms. The impact of sex and sexuality on LGBTQ individuals. Reflecting intersectional students of color, anti-racism and social justice in SEL, replacing fear with new voices. How to pronoun, moving past theory to practice, social justice in the elementary mathematics classroom, an intersectional approach. Guys, we're going to have to get like multiple people because we're going to have people in different sessions. And we're going to have to be streaming to like multiple different channels to capture all the videos. This is going to be a big fucking to-do, okay? We're going to need a team of people. The Unwoke Army is getting revived for this. We haven't done an Unwoke Army thing in a while, but that doesn't mean we can't. Bot is in her element when she is digging through information. Bot is the most critical person of this community. We must protect Bot at all costs. Embracing and empowering queer voices. You are an expert opening dialogue around supporting LGBTQ plus elementary students. It's more than a community, it's a family. Intersecting identities and the Stonewall riots. Let's practice queering your practice. Creating an inclusive classroom on day one. Taking pride in your students. What did these links, why is there links in this? Trans selves in classrooms and education research, gender inclusive adaptations to your biology lessons. Okay, bot, I will, but we're going to finish this first, okay? Remind me in a minute. I have the video pulled up. Or I had the video pulled up. I think I still do. Bot, can you put the video link in the chat again, please? Because I think I had it somewhere, but I'm not sure. Wait, is it here? I think it's this one. We've watched this before. I think we watched this for happy hour. I'm pretty sure we watched it for happy hour. Hang on. 6 minutes. Oh, there it is. Oh shit, you're right, bot. There it is. I know you won't be able to hear the sound, but oh shit. We watched this. We watched this for happy hour. I remember this. I remember those two quite well. Wow. All right, I want to finish reading this list. The queer library is open. The power of drag queen story time. Transforming grading to ensure equity and inclusion in the classroom. How to pronoun. We already saw that one. They repeated it. Wow. Oh, wait, there's more. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, is this a repeat? They repeated. Okay, so they repeated some of the sessions, I think. Oh, no, we're at the top again. Wow. No, we're not. Hang on. Why is this repeating? I don't understand. That's weird. They just keep repeating it. It's like they made the same 3 pages over and over and over again for like 100 pages. That's weird. Okay, that was probably a mistake on their part. All right, guys. Well, I'd say this has been an extremely successful and extremely productive school investigation stream. We now have a new mission. We have a new target. We are going to infiltrate this equity and social justice teaching conference in July. They will not see us coming, so I don't even care if I announce it on the internet that we're doing this, because we won't be registering under our real names anymore. I won't be registering under my real names, and none of you will use your real name on the internet. So ain't nothing they can effing do. This is an Unwoke Army moment. The band took a break because the band leader was going insane, but the band is getting back together. I want everyone who wants to be in on this to be in on it. Infiltrating things is fun, but it also gets complicated. We've got a lot of time to prepare, thankfully for that. I really do want to do this, guys, and I want to do this right. This is going to be important. We know these people are insane. I will be putting out a call for members. We will have strategy sessions. We will have planning meetings. We will do crowdfunding for it, because we're going to need to crowdfund registration. We might also need to get people equipment and tools to be able to stream these things. I want to figure out how to make sure we have enough people in it so we get as many sessions as possible, because they're overlapping sessions. So it's like if you just have one person in it, they're going to go to one. But if we have 3 or 4, we can get all of the overlapping sessions. I want to have multiple backups beyond backups beyond backups beyond backups, because sometimes they figure out one of us, and so they start to kick people out, and then we just use someone else. So we're going to do this right, guys. This is going to be good. This is Socialism in July. It's going to be so fucking awesome. This is the stuff I live for. It really is. All right, guys, that is all I have for this stream. But just as a reminder, this is not, because this is Tuesday, this is not the last stream I'm doing today. It is but the first stream I'm doing today. And I'm going to go take a break and get some dinner. And we will be back in 2.5 hours with nothing remotely controversial. This is a show that I do with my friend Joshua every Tuesday night at 9:30, where we talk about what is going on in the world and anything really we want to. And Joshua, who is a real live professional psychic in real life, uses his psychic ability to peer beneath the surface and let us know what's really going on. You will have the opportunity to ask your questions to Joshua. So if you want to do that, come to the show tonight. Ask us a super chat. Even if you don't believe in psychics, you're still welcome to come and hang out, and we're going to win you over eventually because Joshua gets a lot of things right. A lot of things. And it's fun. And even if sometimes he gets it wrong, because psychics are not infallible, like even if he sometimes gets it wrong, we still have a great time. So guys, please mount that like button on the way out the door. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And as a reminder, if you head over to my Substack, carlin.substack.com, I'm currently running a contest to win one of 2 annual memberships, thanks to the generous contribution of one of my supporters. She wanted to donate 2 memberships. I said, let's hold the contest. Find out how to enter the contest there. And basically, you can leave a testimonial for about why you appreciate my work and what you get out of it. Everyone who leaves a testimonial will get an entry into the contest. If you want to leave a testimonial, even if you already have an annual membership, then please do so. And I would really appreciate it, guys. It would really help me out. But make sure you subscribe on the Substack. That's all for right now. I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon.